Hey guys, sorry I've been MIA over the last week. I was in London last week, and then as soon as I got back this past Sunday, I immediately caught a cold, and I just have not been feeling well enough to film, but I think we're back, sort of. So sorry if I'm a little nasally. I'm really trying to push through here. I don't want to miss too much. Today, I want to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, part 2 for season 14. I don't have anything written down for like the first 5 or so minutes of this reunion. I mean, it was largely pretty tame until like the end when we really get into it with Sutton and Dorit. But we're back from lunch. Garcelle tells Kyle that she feels like Kyle confided in her off camera just to shut her up. And Kyle responds by saying it was her way of getting to a deeper level with her and it was a sign that she trusted her. Garcelle, you can really tell, like already knowing that she's not coming back next season, like you can tell that she is done with being on this show. You can tell that by this point she's already made her decision because throughout the entire reunion, she is just not up for arguing with anybody. Anytime she says something and somebody pushes back, she's just like, okay. And that's just like, that's how you can tell when somebody is just completely done. I don't think she cares. I don't think she cares about like winning the reunion at all. I just think she already knows she's gonna leave at this point, and right now she is just like clocked into work for her last shift. Then we get into the Morgan of it all, and it's kind of what we've been talking about all season. Sutton and Garcelle and I think Dorit are saying like, why are we not allowed to talk about like she who must not be named? And Kyle is saying like, listen, I would never reveal any information that would jeopardize my loved ones, even if people think that I have to just because I'm on the show. But then wasn't she literally like in part 1, like 10 minutes ago, talking to Garcelle about how she doesn't reveal enough on camera? So it's like, explain that to me, because like Garcelle, it's kind of like Erica said. I mean, Erica's like pushing Garcelle to reveal more and more, and Garcelle just doesn't really have that much to reveal. She has her family, she has her beach house, she's like winning at life. She like has the perfect life, she has the perfect family. She doesn't really have much to talk about. And I've talked about Garcelle like saying like being busy is not a storyline. And I've talked about how sometimes I get a little bored with Garcelle, but at the end of the day, like if this is what she has going on in her life, this is what she has going on, and Bravo is the one who keeps asking her back. So it's not like Garcelle is gonna like make up storylines. But Kyle, on the other hand, has this huge thing that's going on with her life. And Mauricio, like her marriage, her saying like, I'm not gonna reveal anything that's gonna jeopardize my loved ones. It's like, okay, but you put your divorce on TV. You put your children on TV. I mean, Portia was on TV when she was 3 years old. So she's clearly not above like having her relationship and her family in the spotlight. And her saying like, even if people think I have to just because I'm on the show, it's like, but that kind of is your job. It kind of is your job to like talk about your personal life on this show. So Kyle also was upset when Dorit said on Watch What Happens Live that the closer Kyle got to Morgan, the more distant she got from her. And Dorit claims that the last time they were close, they both had dinner with Morgan in London for Mo's birthday. That was like kind of crazy to me. Like, hold on, you went on it. So who was it? I think PK was there too. So it's like, okay, it was PK, Dorit, Kyle, Morgan, and Mauricio. That I don't think I realized that like Morgan is involved in like Kyle's family life like that. I don't think I realized that she like knows Mauricio. I don't really watch What Happens Live, so maybe that's something that I missed. But yeah, that was kind of shocking to me. And now this is what I was talking about with Andy chiming in. So Kyle claims that Morgan had nothing to do with her pulling away from Dorit, and she keeps saying like, she's like, yeah, I don't want to bring Morgan into this. She didn't ask for this. This makes her really uncomfortable. This gives her so much anxiety. And then Andy finally chimes in and he's like, you know, she's a public figure. She's not like your child. She's not like this super private citizen who nobody knows. Like, she's a public figure. She is a singer. And so because of that, she is subject to public perception. And then Kyle, this was kind of funny to me. Kyle goes like, no, but Beverly Hills is different. Like the Beverly Hills fans are different. Like I just think Morgan isn't used to like this level of attention, which kind of basically just implies like, listen, Morgan is famous, but she's not like that famous. Like, which I sort of agree with. I mean, I don't know about you. Like, had you ever heard of Morgan Wade before she got involved with Kyle and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? I had never heard of her. I don't know if she's like super famous. I have a blind spot when it comes to like singer-songwriter, like country. Does she make like country music? I mean, obviously I had never heard of her. So I think that's sort of what Kyle is trying to imply without like insulting her. She's like, listen, Morgan is famous, but she's not that famous. And then Andy's like, yeah, Morgan putting out a music video portraying you and her as lovers probably contributed to the rumor mill. And he's like, Kyle, you can't have your cake and eat it too. I don't know if we've ever seen Andy push back on Kyle like this. I feel like Kyle Richards, it's sort of like equivalent to Kyle Cook in Summer House in the sense that like they're really like the producer favorites or like Andy's favorites. He never really pushes back on them. So seeing him push back on Kyle Richards in this way was like really fun because it's like, yeah, like, come on. Like Morgan literally released a music video that showed the two of you together. And now you're going to say like, stop talking about me and Morgan. Don't even say her name. It's she who must not be named. It's like, come on. Like, I think Kyle is like, I don't know how to explain it. Here's the thing with celebrities is that like all press is good press. I do believe that. So like, even though Kyle doesn't want to talk about Morgan on the show, the fact that there are rumors circulating just in general, it helps both of their careers. It does help Kyle and Morgan. And I think Kyle knows that. And I'm sure, like, given the fact that Morgan wasn't on camera at all this season, I believe that Morgan actually doesn't want to be on camera. But I would bet that her career has been boosted by this a little bit. And you can tell that she was happy to see a career boost from this, just solely based off the fact that she cast Kyle in her music video. Now we're moving on. We're talking about the PK texts, the infamous text that Kyle sent to PK. It's so funny because this was such a large part. This was basically like the first third of the season was talking about these texts, and we really only dedicate like 5 minutes to it at the reunion. But Kyle is saying that her text to PK, it wasn't like a random like, hey, I'm thinking about you kind of text. It was literally just in response to their separation announcement expressing support. And then she says like, yeah, other than that, we don't communicate like that. But then that's so weird because during the season, didn't she literally say that they send each other memes and jokes all the time? Wasn't there in the season, didn't she literally say like, oh, PK and I talk all the time, like we text every day, we're friends? I could have sworn that she said that. I'm gonna put Kyle's text to PK here in case you forgot about it.
The next text is not till the day you guys got separated. I said, I know you have a lot of friends. I'm also one. If you need me, I've never repeated anything you shared with me. And wouldn't, meaning I don't mean about regarding you. I think that's what you're taking it as. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this.
So Erica tells Andy that the way she interpreted the text was that Kyle wasn't specifically talking about Dorit. She wasn't explicitly saying like, oh, I won't tell Dorit anything that you told me. She was just talking about the show as a whole, which I do agree. I think that's how I interpreted it too. I think Kyle was essentially saying like, I won't bring this on the show and I won't tell anybody, like I won't bring it to the press either. But of course, you still can't deny that that's a crazy thing to text the man who is actively separating from one of your close friends. And Andy asks the women, he's like, is anybody team Kyle in this situation? And nobody raises their hand because it's weird. It is weird. And Kyle even says, she's like, honestly, like if somebody had texted Mo something like that, like I'll never reveal anything you told me, it would make me mad. So it's like, yeah, even you can acknowledge that is weird. She insists there was no malintent behind it. I mean, it's obvious that like Kyle doesn't want to get with PK. I don't think anybody thinks that. Like, ew. Like, I don't think Kyle wants to get with PK, but like, there must be something validating about his attention. I don't know if maybe she's like craving male attention now that Mauricio isn't in her life, but then also she has Morgan. So it's like, I think that like her and Dorit were falling out. And I mean, she honestly doesn't seem particularly close to anybody else in the cast. Like, I feel like she's the closest to Dorit, and like, I don't know, like maybe Erica. She's clearly not as close to Sutton as Sutton thinks that she is. And obviously we know that like her real best friend passed away a couple years ago. So I don't know if maybe PK is like filling some kind of hole that she has in her life, some kind of friendship hole. Then a crystal falls on the ground and Kyle picks it up and clutches it for dear life. She brought all of these crystals. We see it in part 1 of the reunion. And this damn crystal, I don't know what it is. It's like long and pointy. I think it's like sapphire maybe, or amethyst. Keeps clattering to the ground. She literally picks it up and she clutches it for dear life. And eventually I think Bose is like, put it down, put the crystal down. Then, I don't know what podcast this is, but they show a clip of Bose on a podcast calling Kyle a liar. And Kyle is affronted because she's like, I've never been called that before. I've never been called a liar before. And Bose is like, well, you did lie because you said that all you text PK are jokes and memes, and it was revealed that that's actually not the case. It's so funny. Kyle is so insulted by this, but it's like, yeah, I mean, you were literally caught in a lie. You were saying that your friendship with PK wasn't as deep as it actually is. That's a lie. Then Andy is essentially like, all right, last call, Kyle and Dorit, are you going to be friends or not? And Kyle's like, listen, you're important enough to me that I want to put this aside because both of us need all of the support that we can get right now. And Dorit is like, yes, I agree with you, but we both need to get together privately and have a sit down and see if the friendship is still there. And Andy goes, who's going to initiate that? And Kyle's like, I will initiate it. One thing about Dorit is she loves a sit down. She wants to have a sit down with you. She wants to call you into her office to discuss. You know who she's like? If you watch Dubai Bling, she's like Xana from Dubai Bling. She's like, come into my office. We need to talk this out. That's Dorit. Like, one thing she's going to do is be like, let's have a sit down. So this tracks. Then they bring out Jennifer Tilly. She looks so cute in her little dress. She's so happy to be here. It's so funny because she says, Andy's like, oh, what's it been like being on the show? And she's like, yeah, it's so funny. People used to respect me more when I wasn't on the show. Like, she essentially says, like, I guess people used to be afraid to go up to her and say hi, and now people are just kind of like, oh my God, Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, I like skipped a lot of this part because there's really no drama here. It's just her being like funny and charming. It's so funny. It honestly feels like she's a fan who won a sweepstakes to be on a season of the show. And it's interesting because normally when they cast friends of, I'm like, yeah, I like you as a friends of. I like you as a friend of. I think you should stay at a friend of. Jennifer Tilly, honestly, I could see her being main cast. And I never usually say that because normally the friends of are really boring to me. I could see them bringing Jennifer Tilly to be main cast. Not like the star of the show. She would still be sitting at the end of the couch at the reunions, but like, I would not be mad if they promoted her next season. She is also by far the richest woman to ever be on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I Googled her net worth and it said 40 million, but I was like, no way. It has to be more than that. Between 3% of The Simpsons, and she's also a professional poker player, and like, looking at all of the jewelry she has, I mean, even the other women on the show are like amazed at the things that she has. It has to be more than 40 million. I really think she's one of the richest people to ever be in the franchise as a whole. And then they bring Kathy out. You know how I feel about Kathy. She's just so like senile. She's not entertaining to me. I kind of tuned out during this. The one like important piece of information that we got after Kathy came out was Andy asking about Kim, Kyle and Kathy's sister. I didn't even know about this, that apparently, I think maybe last year, maybe around the time they were filming or a little after, Kim was placed on a psychiatric hold, and we hadn't heard any updates since then. I did Google it. It looks like Kim was placed on a psychiatric hold actually after a fight that she had with Kyle at her house. I guess one of the neighbors called the police, and then that ended up happening. And Kathy just says she's spending time in Florida. And Kyle says, like, you know, at least she's doing better than the last time she was in the press. I'm really rooting for her. That was like sad. I didn't know anything about what was happening with Kim, so that makes me sad. I mean, I'm really rooting for her. That's scary. And I feel like to have that happen to one of your siblings is like, that's awful. Then we start talking about the Dorit and Sutton of it all. And Dorit hates Sutton. Dorit like really, really, really hates her. I think she wants her to die. I mean, Dorit, it's like when she's arguing with Kyle, it's one thing. It just feels like two friends arguing. When she's arguing with Sutton, you can tell that in her mind, she's picturing her with a knife just stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. She gets so vicious. She gets this really vicious tone in her voice. She will not stop cursing. She's cursing more than I've ever heard her curse. The first thing she does is she calls Sutton a bitch for interrupting her story with Jagger when they were about to go to Garcelle's beach house. And then Sutton's like, listen, production asked me to interrupt. And Sutton is kind of trying to be like super, super calm and like very sweet. I feel like she's doing some like optics recon after how the season ended. And Dorit's like, well, what happened to Miss Manners, huh? What happened to Miss Manners? And Sutton's like, yeah, I guess I'm not Miss Manners anymore. She's like trying to stay so calm. And she's like, yeah, I did it poorly. And Dorit is like, you can tell that she's like the bully who is upset because she's not getting the reaction that she wants. Like, she wants Sutton to lash out and be like, no, fuck you, bitch, fuck you. And Sutton's like not playing into it, and you can tell it's making Dorit angry. Then they bring up the wallet comment, which, I mean, it's like, okay, like we get it, it was rude. I'm honestly surprised we're harping on this so much. Kyle thought that it was like reprehensible, and all of the women chime in to be like, that was ugly, it was beneath you. That was so disgusting. I honestly think we're really beating a dead horse with this. Like, yes, it was a rude comment for sure. I don't think it's the rudest thing that's ever been said on The Real Housewives. I just think, like, I think the reason why we're really harping on this is that, like, for this group of women specifically, their image and their wealth is the only thing that matters to them. So I think, especially for somebody like Dorit, being called poor is like the worst thing that you could ever say to her. That's just like what her priorities are. So I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, it was an ugly comment. It's just something that came out in the heat of an argument. It wasn't really cute, but it's like, Jesus Christ, all of the women just piling on and being like, it was reprehensible. It was disgusting. I just thought it was awful. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, she didn't like insult the woman's kids. Like, it was just like a stupid little comment about her wealth. But it's like, to them, it's like, that's the only thing that matters. So it's like, I guess I get it. And this is when Dorit like lights up. I hate this woman so much. Oh, I hate this woman. She thinks she's such hot shit. She thinks she's so cool and smart and witty and cutting. And she's like, oh, it's not like you're living like the Queen of Sheba. You live on a fucking main road. And she says it like that. You see what I'm talking about with the cursing? She goes, she lives on a fucking main road. On a fucking main road. Who wants to live on a fucking main road? So it's like, okay, you were literally just telling Sutton that the wallet comment was beneath her and it was not okay. But now you get to come for Sutton's wealth and her house and all of this. No, we were literally just talking about how that comment was beneath Sutton. So you don't now get to come out and be like, poor bitch living on a main road, bitch. You don't get to do that. I just think this is clearly a soft spot for her. I mean, sure, I get it. It's like sort of like Lisa Barlow. Like, all of these women have a certain image that they want to maintain. But I mean, Dorit really wants to bury Sutton. It's like, it's just so annoying. It like really reminded me of how much I hate her. Like, she thinks she's so big and tough, but I think in reality she is so small. And I think she is so sensitive and she's so easily insulted, but then at the same time, she gets to insult everybody else just as much as she wants. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. She's a bully. I just think she is a bully and a mean person. And you can tell she is really, really, really trying to goad Sutton here into acting ugly. She goes, well, I know you're so used to buying people. And Sutton goes, who did I buy? And then the credits start rolling, the music stops. It's like we're stopping in the middle of this argument. She goes, who did I buy? Who did I buy? And Sutton's now starting to get a little angry, and Dorit goes, oh yeah, there she is. She wants this sort of Sutton to come out because she doesn't want to be the only one acting ugly. But At the end of the day, Dorit is acting the ugliest out of anybody. She is such a bully. She is not interested in resolving this issue in a mature way at all, even though she's pretending to be. She's not interested in resolving this. She's interested in winning this. She wants to win this argument and come out on top, and she wants to come out with the better image. So yeah, that just like really left a bad taste in my mouth, that argument. It felt like I was watching like a bully just like in middle school, like relentlessly go after this other person who's like really not even going after them that much. Like, I thought that they sort of half resolved it at the end of the season. Then they show the preview for part 3, and it looks like Garcelle leaves right as the reunion's wrapping up. It looks like she leaves before the end of reunion toast. Like, Andy's kind of trying to pass out the drinks, and she goes, nope, I'm out. Very interesting, because I thought she was gonna leave way earlier. It's interesting that she only leaves way at the end. And then it's so interesting to see that she leaves at the end, because I feel like she hasn't even had that much smoke so far. I mean, definitely some unwarranted attacks in the beginning of this episode of part 2, like coming from Kyle, but nothing inherently insulting. I just feel like it's sort of like one time when I was working at a chocolate shop, this guy that I worked with, who was just awful, he had like a really bad attitude, just left in the middle of his shift and never came back. Like, he was just sick of it. He left his key on the counter and then he just walked out the door without saying anything. I feel like that's like Garcelle. I feel like she's just over it. She wants to leave in the middle of her shift. She's like, I am so sick of this. I'm so done with this. Keep an eye out. In the next couple days, I'm going to have my recap of the next episode of Summer House. What are we on right now? Are we on 10? Maybe episode 10? And then next Tuesday, The Valley comes back. I'm so excited. You know we're definitely going to be talking about that. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully this was good. I'm not feeling like super sharp because of this cold, but I'm going to come back better than ever. And I will see you next time.